also want to say hello to the Great Britain. You know, we're looking on our forums and we see we're picking up a lot of people from Great Britain. We're picking up some people from Canada, and a couple of places down in the Middle East and all that, and you know, we appreciate it. We're looking also at the middle schools and high schools, and we see that a lot of the science programs are going into science and mathematics, and through the water shoes. In other words, they have these programs, especially the schools that have swimming pools. Maybe the high school have swimming pools, and they invite the middle schools over, and sometimes the universities invite the middle schools and the high schools up, you know, for a icebreaker and other things that they do during the summer. And this is great. What we ask that the students do is maybe direct us to their instructors or their teachers, especially people in mathematics and science, because this is science. I'm science directed and mathematically directed, arithmetic directed, you know, calculus, algebra directed. And it's a lot about both in mathematics. We do want to say that some of the, you know, the teachers have gotten into some kind of locked system where we got all these rules and regulations, and the students should build their water shoes according to these rules and regulations. And we're saying maybe, you know, maybe, I mean, I don't know, you know, whatever, but maybe that's not the absolute best way to go. The absolute best way to go is the kids just make water shoes. Just use your imagination and make water shoes. And I think we can get maybe a better water shoe rather than have all these rules and regulations. But because the problem with the rules and regulations, this stuff is really new, and it hasn't been finalized as to all the screws and bolts and nuts. But we did find out that the water shoe is a raft that's split, and we have historical material on that. But be advised, of course, there's a possibility of finding more material on the water shoes. So, but like I said, our flavor is a ninja water shoes. We ask that the schools look at our work as educational direction, and it's not necessary to just follow our material point blank, but at least you got some kind of orientation, and the kids from this orientation can blossom. Because what we don't want to do is wind up making water shoes 1, 2, 3, or 4 years, 5, 6, 7 year program, and the water shoes remain the same, and they haven't gotten any better. But the main thing we don't want to run into is a problem they ran into with the airplane, where they start out flapping the wings. They start flapping the wings on the airplane, and then years later, Leonardo started flapping the wings on the airplane, but years later he realized that a glider, fixed wing glider with a, you know, is the building block. Is the building block. And with the water shoes, this all this walking, ambulatory movement as a main energy to move the shoes is not correct, because we're looking at a lot of the films from the high schools and in the junior high schools and all this, and we'll see, yeah, the guy gets across the pool, but look at all the energy that's being expended, you know, and the object of movement is, let's do it with the least amount of energy, the least amount of effort. We put the least amount of effort in to get the maximum forward forward movement. And so you look at what we're doing, and then look at Leonardo closer. Have your students look at Leonardo da Vinci's water shoes closer, which is a Chinese water shoe. Leonardo copied this from a Chinese model. So we want to look at this and then maybe work in this direction. And the same thing we do, we work in the ninja direction. So now we have some serious or solid science to go on, and mathematics, to go on. Some of the shoes that I see, they got too much foam. In other words, do you need all this foam to float? Just enough, is enough. Too much is not too much, or whatever. And but anyway, look at what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is we're trying to direct this material in a more of a scientific, mathematical, direction. And we're going to take, maybe I take a little bit of comedy out, whatever, whatever. But all this stuff is in good pieces, and we want you to look at it and direct your students. I don't know if I can even say that or not. Can I tell the teacher anything, whatever, But we teach school here in Okinawa, and we have a water shoe program for first graders. We have a little tub, a little plastic tub, and we put miniature shoes in, and the kids like it. So we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna work on a little more in design, but more. We talk about cosmetic design, but functional design and cosmetic design, and why we do what we do, and variations of what we do and why we do it, and how you could make variations in what you do and how you do it, so you can really get to the the best design, the best approach. So we'll be right back.